Hello there fellow elf type people. So one of the questions that I get asked a fair bit concerns my elf ears and the different kinds that I wear. So I guess the question is, should you spend all your money on a pair of expensive latex realistic elf ears, or could you buy cheaper and have sort of the same outcome? So in this video we're going to be comparing two pairs of elf ears. So the professional pair I'm going to be using for this video are these. So these are the Nomad ears and these are by Oradani. So on my channel I do already have a full video of me unboxing and reviewing two different pairs of elf ears by Oradani. These ears are quite small, they're very delicate and nicely pointed. So this is just a small, fairly cheap pair of professional elf ears. These are the cheap ones. So these are the cheap elf ears I'm going to be showing you in comparison to the Oradani ones. So as you can see, they're not shaded like the Oradani ones, and they're kind of a different shape. Obviously that's because they're a different brand. However, these are more or less the same size and a fairly similar shape. So first things first, we're going to talk about quality. So again, these are the Oradani ones. So you can see they have this very nice curved shape. You can see that they're very three-dimensional, and these are painted in a light skin tone. You can get them in three different shades, light, medium and dark, and you can also get them unpainted. The great thing about these Oradani ears is that when you buy them painted, they come shaded, so you can see this pink hue down the back. This makes them look much more natural. They blend in fabulously with your ears. You'll also notice the material they're made out of. Now this is latex. This makes them very floppy and bendy. This little flap adheres to your ear. You can bend it to match the shape of your ear. These ears even have shading on the back. You can see the fade from this pinkish hue to this sort of more neutral hue here. So the Oradani ears are handmade with latex. They're fabulous quality, you really can't argue with them. They're kind of the best of the best when you're going for elf ears, and that's why I chose them for this video. And now I think we're going to what is in fact the worst of the worst. So these are the cheap elf ears. Now these aren't actually branded, but they are from China, and the first thing I noticed when I bought these, although they were described as latex, that is very clearly not latex, this is plastic. These elf ears were 99p. And you can see why. So these are from China and they're actually meant to be worn this way, but given the fact that they're plastic and both of these openings are quite similar and not really shaped for any ear, they're more of like they're more designed to go right on the end of your ear than to blend in. You can kind of wear them either way, and I prefer this way because I think it looks more natural, whereas this looks more like a Christmas elf sort of thing. Regardless of which way you choose to wear them, I have to tell you these are extremely uncomfortable. They do not fit well to the ears. Now I have fairly small ears and these are quite a pain to get on. They're very thick. They don't bend like the Oradani one. They're just a plastic, and this is actually a little bit sharp. Like, it wouldn't cut your ear, but rubbing back and forth all day it would hurt it. They're not very malleable at all. They are quite three-dimensional and they are carved to look like ears. They do have all this detailing. Unfortunately it is all one colour and it does tend to blend into each other a little bit, I guess. So the comfort level for these is quite atrocious. I was not even able to wear them once without feeling the need to take them off. I at no point applied spirit gum to them because I knew that I would not want to have them on for very long at all. Just to demo, it's very hard to actually get them onto the ear. They don't want to open. It's extremely awkward, and I'm having a look. It doesn't feel on at all. There is less than a pinky finger width of my ear actually inside this at this point. You'll notice on the back that it runs quite far from the ear. My ear only goes about, if this is my finger, it only goes about this far inside, and so at any point my ear's just going to go, you know, just slip straight out. However, when I try with the Oradani pair, because they're so much softer, look, it just went straight on. Straight on, it just went straight on. And obviously it needs adjusting to fit your ear properly, but that just went straight on. It's quite obvious at this moment that the Oradani pair are definitely the way to go, but you have to ask, are there any pros to buying these really cheap, crappy elf ears? Yes, and the answer is the price. I'm sure you saw that coming. These were 99 pence, whereas the Oridani ears were $12, I think, and then an extra $5 for being painted to the chosen skin tone. Furthermore, I live in the UK and shipping from China is always free, so these still only cost me 99 pence, whereas shipping from the US, which is where Oridani is based, costs a considerable amount more, which pushes up the price of these latex ears even further. So is it worth it to pay that much more for the Oridani ears? Yes, it is. I definitely do not regret paying that much for those ears. I think they're worth every penny, and I certainly intend to buy more of these ears, both in the same style and in other styles. Would I ever buy these ears again? No, not ever, because they're just so crappy and cheap, and I really don't want to wear something that's like this. The fact that the plastic here, it's going to be very hard to see, the fact that the plastic on the ear actually like rims back round, so it's not flat here, means that if this doesn't fit perfectly the shape of your ear, this sort of little bowl here, this bit, is forever going to want, it's never going to flatten out, it's always going to be pushing against your ear. And that is likely to get quite painful after a while, so if you were wanting to go to a convention or anything like that, I definitely suggest a more comfortable pair, such as the Oridani pair. You may be asking, is the Oridani pair, you know, do you actually get your money's worth? Well, personally I think you do. Just using this pair as an example, any ears you get made by professional, handmade, are always going to be a much higher quality than something that's mass produced. The final product is fabulous. It's very soft, malleable, comfortable, and the added bonus to paying a company like Oridani, who makes elf ears by hand professionally, the difference there is that you can actually talk to them and get all sorts of other extra services that you really couldn't with a mass-produced item. So the example there is if you wanted a pair of elf ears painted blue or purple or some other random colour, you could very much pay for your item and say to Oridani, I'd like to hire you for this service to please make a unique pair of elf ears. I know that they absolutely do offer things like customised paintings, and they also offer pro kits for you to do your own things like that. Anything that's like this that's from China for a really knockoff price, you don't get that. So I guess it's kind of a no-brainer that when you have a cheap pair of ears versus a professional pair of ears, if you can afford it, you really should go for the professional pair of ears. I would really recommend Oridani's ears to absolutely anyone. I think they're fantastic and super realistic, amazingly comfortable, and I just really love them. Would I recommend these to anybody? Personally, I kind of really want to say no. However, if you're just going to something like a costume party just one day, or you know, you really don't have that money to spend on something, but you do want to have those elf ears and you unfortunately cannot make those yourself, I suppose 99 pence for a pair of these, I mean, they're worth 99 pence in the sense that I wouldn't pay a penny more for them. But I mean, if you can afford less than £1 for a pair of ears and you don't intend to wear them for a long amount of time that would cause you any sort of discomfort, then this is still an option. So was I disappointed when these arrived and didn't live up to the description on their website? Yes, absolutely. But what did I do with these? I did make sure that my purchase didn't go to waste, and I made these. So these have been worn about 1,000 times and look a little bit gross at the moment. They're quite torn and a bit grazed. I used the cheap pair to make an actual latex pair of my own elf ears. These are the ears that I've been wearing throughout this video, and as you can see, they're very grazed and torn up. They've been through a lot of these ears. You can see them already almost falling apart here. But although they're the same shape and size as the other ears, they're bendy because I made them out of latex. Now I did this very easily by just taking one of these plastic pieces of crap and just painting latex on the outside. Admittedly, because this was my first ever pair and I followed no instructions, I did paint possibly a few too many coats on them, and they're a little bit thick towards the end, but I mean, they're stretchy and you can make as many pairs as you want, essentially just using this as a template to make your own actual latex elf ears. So if you perhaps have some latex lying about, and latex is very cheap, I would say it took me less than a third of a bottle, maybe a quarter of a bottle, simply by coating these. And these are 99 pence, and Flesh latex you can get for extremely cheap. If you have the time to spare and you're low on a budget, you could buy some cheap elf ears from China, and you could just use them as a template to just very easily make your own pair. So yep, that would be my guide to buying elf ears. Remember to always be careful when buying prosthetics and cosplay items, because honestly, you get what you pay for. So I hope this video helped some of you out, and that's all till next time. Bye YouTube!